Thank you for giving me the opportunity to elaborate a little bit on some of my concerns. As I mentioned at this meeting of the McAllen Citizens League, Futuro RGV, and we were in partnership with the McAllen Citizens League and League of Women Voters and AIM Media. We tried very hard to get the information about the candidates to the voters. We had great difficulty because we found that there is a sense that we don't want to get in front of the cameras with our opponents. I think that there is a certain amount of divisiveness in the Valley that has not been here before. We've always been very, very cooperative. We've worked together. We've been a family. And that's one of the things that I think is very strong about the Valley. We are a family. We work together. We like each other, even when we don't always agree with each other. I have Democrat friends, I have Republican friends, and I highly respect and admire many of them for many things. But in this election season, Futuro RGV has tried very hard to get candidate views across to the voters, because in a strong democracy, we have to hear both sides, and we have to also hear them compare their views so that we in turn can make good, responsible decisions on how we want to vote. This is the essence of democracy. I think that we found in these last couple of months that too many candidates want to depend entirely on social media to get their views across. Unfortunately, this gets their views across only to their own partisan group, not to all of the voters. Now, I personally feel that social media is a marvelous, marvelous thing, entity, whatever, and it is only going to become stronger and more prominent. But I also think it is exactly like fire. When fire was discovered, fire can be very, very destructive, very, very dangerous, but we learned how to use and control fire, and I think we have to do that with social media. It has been used in some very destructive and negative ways. But social media is here. It's something that is going to continue to be here and be stronger, and we have to learn how to use it in positive ways. We cannot afford to look at our neighbors who might disagree with us on some things, might belong to that other party, and we don't call that other party evil. We call our neighbors, well, they think a little differently, but we all want the same solutions. We want a good neighborhood. We want a place to raise our family that is safe and fun to live in. We want safety, we want health, we want good jobs. All of us want that. We have some different ways of how we go about it, but we are a family and we've got to start acting like one. Well, we have to go back and keep acting like one, because we have been that in the past, and we must not let current situations, current negativity that I see in the political scene these days stop us from being that RGV family. So let's use social media just like we did fire and find effective and positive ways to do it. And thank you, Steve. Yes?
Yeah, just a couple of questions then, based on what you've said. I think could you make the case it's not just that certain candidates are relying on social media, some candidates are perhaps hiding behind all the negative advertising, that if there's no moderate, non-partisan forum where both candidates can be compared together, and all you have to go on, all a voter has to go on, are the mail shots that come through the mail, which are obviously partisan, the negative radio spots and TV spots and internet spots, that can define how, all the information that a voter is going to receive to make such an important choice. It's all coming from negative attack ads which obviously going to be very partisan.
I absolutely agree with what you're saying, Steve. This is what I have really been trying to get across to so many people. We are not interested in you mouthing and giving out the negative attack ads that are indigenous to your particular party. We are interested in what are the issues that we face and how do you intend to work on those issues in a positive way. Negativity is not the way to bring us together. Negativity is not the way to maintain a strong democracy. We want positive approaches to solve the issues that affect all of us. And spouting negative rhetoric that your party is spouting is not the way to do it. We are a family. We are the RGV family. We have issues that we want to address, and we want to know how you intend to work to address those issues to make a good and better life for all of us.
Last question. So, for the uninitiated, those that are just learning about this for the first time, the situation was Futuro, working with the Citizens League and the League of Women Voters, wanted to put on...
And AIM Media.
And AIM Media, we should say that, AIM Media. You wanted to put on forums in a number of races, up and down the ballot. You wanted the smaller races, the bigger races. But obviously the marquee race is the congressional race because it's an open seat. We have two candidates, neither of whom have ever been elected to office, and so it's such an important position. Can you recap what happened in that particular case? I understand, and for sure I understand that Futuro is non-partisan, impartial, plays everything by the book, straight down the middle, but one candidate said yes, they would participate, and one candidate didn't respond, correct?
That is correct. And interestingly enough, last January for the primaries, the candidates did respond. We had some very good, we did them online, but the candidates were there and they did respond, but they were with the other candidates from their own particular party. It was only when they were faced with candidates from the opposition party that they basically, most of them did not respond at all. We did have some who responded and 3 who participated in one party, whereas we had most everybody participating in the other party. And obviously you can't have a campaign forum, candidate forum, if you only have one candidate.
And you have, the election is just around the corner now, at the beginning of November. Early voting is about to start next week. Do you want to make a last-minute appeal to that candidate, or do you think it's too late?
I read an interesting quote. Let's see, I can't remember who it was by. Democracy is not for all. Our government is not for all. Our government is not run by all of us in the democracy. Our government is run by the ones who vote in the democracy. And if you don't vote in the democracy, you are not a part of the democracy. You are not keeping our democracy strong. But you need to know what the issues are. You need to know what the candidates are going to try to do to resolve those issues, and then you do need to go vote.
Anything else you'd like to add, Nedra?
Anything that you can say or do to get yourself to the polls to vote, and your family to vote, your friends to vote. The message is, be a responsible citizen. It's your duty, it's your privilege, and go vote.
Thank you so much for today's interview.
Thank you.